Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivrajakacara Suttara Sata Sri Srimati Dani Goswami Abhay Charanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nidai Gopramanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Okay. So, yesterday in this Transcendental Diary from Harishori Prabhu, we read that the proper tapasya is reading the books, Prabhupada says. Yes? That's what it says. We want to do anything except... Some of us like to read the books, but Prabhupada says, yes, this is the tapasya. And today we read further. Okay. It is a point Prabhupada has stressed many times before, and he followed it by focusing on another item of sadhana that is still difficult for some devotees, and that I, as a former temple commander here, could appreciate. Just a year ago, it was my duty to wake everyone up at 4 a.m. by running around the brahmacharya ashram and guest house banging a gong. So this is Vrindavan, right? Yeah, this is Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, in the Gurukul, and you can hear, not the gong, they used to have a gong, but now they have a bell. I mean, when I was living there, so they have a bell, din, din, din. They go around at 3, I forgot what, 3:30 or something. So he says he was doing this. Harishari. Srila Prabhupada had been visiting during Janmashtami and had inquired from his servant Upendra Prabhu what was going on. When Upendra had told him that it was me waking everybody up for Mangalarati, he had shaken his head and commented, "They have to be woken like a bunch of cows." So now, in class, he continued, "These are the tapasyas. To rise early in the morning, that is also tapasya. Know that every day we have to ring bell. Dong, 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 dong. Get up, get up. No, I am sleeping. No, you have to accept. These are the tapasyas. We cannot avoid. If we actually want to avoid this body, working like cats and dogs, like animals, then we have to undergo tapasya, a very simple tapasya. He told us that we can expect to go to the forest and undergo meditation in the snow of the Himalayan mountains with no food or shelter from animals. We cannot expect, that we cannot expect to go to the forest or undergo meditation in the snow of the Himalayan mountains with no food or shelter from animals. Gurujan Prabhu, a few years ago in a class, he said that before he would look at the forest or the mountains and he would think, I wonder what would happen if I just walked into the forest. So he says that was when he was younger. He says now he looks at the forest and he says, I don't have to wonder. I know if I go, I die. There's no wondering. It's clear. Cold, hungry, freezing. Rather, we are living in the holy land of Krishna's birth, in a wonderful temple and ashram complex. But this also is for the performance of tapasya. So whenever, in the 9th canto, when Srila Prabhupada says, we have to take vanaprastha and go to the forest. So then he says, Vrindavan is also a forest. So this is why we have built Krishna Balaram, so you can go to Vrindavan, live in Vrindavan, in the forest, in the Krishna Balaram Mandir. So that also counts. And then you can see Prabhupada has created so many Vrindavans and Mayapurs and Jagannath Puris around the world to give shelter to us, burning souls here. Sounding another cautionary note, Prabhupada continued, we have constructed a big nice building, but because the building is there, if you simply come here as a free guest and make life very easy for eating and sleeping, that is not tapasya. That is not tapasya. You must be very careful how to keep the temple very cleansed, yourself clean, worshipping the deity. That is recommended. Shri Vigrahara Dhana Nityanana Shingaratam Mandira Marjanado. Shri Gurvashtaka 3. This is also tapasya. Hare Krishna. Transcendental Diary Ki Jai. Any thoughts, comments?
На одной прогулке в Австралии преданные говорили Прабхупаде. Люди думают, что у нас такая аскетичная практика. А в чем аскеза? Ну, например, рано вставать. Это же хорошо. Кто рано встает, тот ему здоровье наживет.
Prabhupada сказал. In one morning walk, Prabhupada said that people think that we have a very austere practice, but what is difficult about this in our practice? What is the difficulty? Okay, we have to get up early, but early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
One second, repeat.
Early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. You didn't hear this?
Wise?
You didn't hear this? Of course, there is another version. Anyway, I will not say this.
Еще по-русски пословица есть. Кто рано встает, тому Бог дает.
Okay, so Canto 5. Canto 5, right? We go next to the... Okay, so we have a very, very heavy verse now. Anti-family life, anti-grihasta, Hare Krishna. Get your seatbelts on. Fasten your seatbelts. Somehow I thought today I will read the 5th verse, but somehow I skipped the 4th. Samshayo yam mahan brahman. Samshayo yam mahan brahman. Dara gara sutadishu. Dara gara sutadishu. Saktasya yat siddhirabhut. Saktasya yat siddhirabhut. Krishna cha matirachyuta. Krishna cha matirachyuta. Samshayo yamahan brahman. Daragara sutadishu. Saktasya yat siddhirabhut. Krishna cha matirachyuta.
Samshayo yamaham brahman.
Samshayo yamaham brahman. Agara sutadishu. Saktasya yat siddhirabhut. Krishna cha matirachyuta.
Samshayo yamahan brahman.
Samshayo yamahan brahman.
Daragara sutadishu.
Daragara sutadishu.
Saktasya yat siddhirabhut.
Saktasya yat siddhirabhut.
Krishna cha matirachyuta.
Krishna cha matirachyuta.
Samshaya yamahan brahman.
Samshaya yamahan brahman.
Daragara sutadishu.
Daragara sutadishu.
Saktasya yat siddhirabhut.
Saktasya yat siddhirabhut.
Krishna cha matirachyuta.
Krishna cha matirachyuta. Ladies. Samshayo yamahan brahman. Daragara sutadishu. Saktasya yat siddhirabhut. Krishna Chaitira Samshayoyam Maham Brahman Dharagara Sutadishu Saktasya Yat Siddhirabhut Krishna Chaitira. Would it be easier if I read the German, or because only then you would need, right? Только вы по-немецки. Ага. Okay. 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 So samshaya, doubt. Ayam, this. Mahan, great. Brahman, O Brahmana. Dara, to the wife. Agara, home. Suta, children. Adishu, and so on. Saktasya, of a person attached. Yat, because. Siddhi, perfection. Abhut, became. Krishna, unto Krishna. Cha, also. Mati, attachment. Achyuta, infallible. The king continued. Which king? This is about Priyavrata, yes, but it's still about. And this is asking about Priyavrata, Parikshit Maharaj, yes. The king continued, O great Brahmana. To whom he is saying, O great Brahmana? Shukadeva Goswami. Did Shukadeva Goswami receive the sacred thread?
No.
No.
He was born perfect.
It's quite interesting, right? But he's always addressed as a great Brahmana. O great Brahmana. This is my great doubt. How was it possible for a person like King Priyavrata? Willst du dieses Buch, Ekayani? This is my great doubt. How was it possible for a person like King Priyavrata, who was so attached to wife, children, and home, to achieve the topmost infallible perfection in Krishna consciousness? Purport. Heavy, heavy purport, yes. Short but heavy. King Parikshit wondered how a person so attached to wife, children, and home could become so perfectly Krishna conscious. Prahlad Maharaj has said, Matirna Krishna parata svatova mito bipadyeta grihavratanam. A grihavrata, one who has taken a vow to execute family duties, has no chance to become Krishna conscious. Oh my God. We should all be brahmacharis forever, right? Looks like, right? And brahmacharis. This is because most grihavratas are guided by sense gratification and therefore gradually glide down to the darkest regions of material existence. Hare Krishna. Adanta gobir vishatam tamisram. How can they possibly become perfect in Krishna consciousness? Maharaj Parikshit asked Shukadeva Goswami to resolve this great doubt. I thought, okay. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyanandana Shalakaya Chakshurmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Yasya prasadadagyapi sadhya sarva gyatam vrajet sa Shri Chaitanya Deva me Bhagavan samprasidatu. May Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, be fully merciful unto me. By His grace a complete fool can get all knowledge in one moment. Aganya danya chaitanya gananam premavanyaya ninya danya janasanta marushashvad anupatam. My respectful obeisances unto the uncountable, unlimited, infinite, fortunate devotees of Sri Chaitanya, who come to make the unfortunate people of this world fortunate by bringing to the desert-like hearts of the people of the material world the flood of Krishna Prema, message of Krishna Prema, Premavan. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna consciousness is our program. This is the program that Srila Prabhupada emphasizes all the time. It's not being a brahmachari, being a grihasta, being a sannyasi, being a brahmana, being a vaishya, anything. Not these things. This is not the program that Srila Prabhupada is trying to establish. The main program is Krishna consciousness. The main program Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bringing is Krishna consciousness. Everything else is to help Krishna consciousness. If there is Krishna consciousness, bad things become good. If there is no Krishna consciousness, good things become bad. Aradito yodi haris tapasah tatakim. Naradito yodi haris tapasah tatakim. This is a famous quote Prabhupada is bringing from the Narada Pancharatra. If the person worships Hari, then what use for him is tapasya, austerity. Sie sagen hier Entsagung. Aber kann man verstehen, wenn man Askesis sagt? Ist es verständlich? Askesis, ja? So Narada Pancharatra says, what's use of tapasya if you already worship Hari? And if you do not worship Hari, what's the point of your austerity? It's useless. Antar bahiredi haris tapasatata kim, nantar bahiredi haris tapasatata kim. And if you are Krishna conscious, remembering Krishna inside and outside, then what use for you is austerity, tapasya. And if you are not conscious, if you do not see Krishna inside and outside, then what is the use of your austerity? That's famous verse Prabhupada is quoting from the Narada Pancharatra, which makes austerity seem completely useless for everybody. So our program is Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says that without Krishna consciousness, everything else is just like many, many zeros. Many zeros. And Krishna consciousness is like putting one in front. So if you have many zeros, that's okay. If you have austerity, any material and spiritual opulences, if you offer them to Krishna, then all the zeros are very nice. Yes? This is the more zeros, the better. Like if you get a bank account, money in the bank, would you like 3 zeros, 4 zeros, or 10 zeros? Depends what's in front. If there is anything in front, then the more zeros, the better. Yes, the more zeros, the better. Every zero is very nice. And if there is nothing in front, doesn't matter. 1 0, 30 zeros, 0 is 0. If it's in front. But if there is 1 in front, or 10, or 5, or 3, then yes, every zero is very nice. The more the better. The more the merrier. So the same with family life and brahmachari life and sannyas life, all these varnashram and brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, all these things, if we use them in Krishna consciousness, if you're in Krishna consciousness, then they become very nice, they become wonderful, and we want them. And if they're not in Krishna consciousness, well, they're also nice, But ultimately, it's a small, as they say in English, peanuts, it's small fish, it's trifle, eine bagatelle, yes, it's melish. It's nothing so important. It's good, you know. If you go on the street and you find 50 cents, it's nice, isn't it? But how far will it take you? It's not even enough for a S-Bahn, right? Even okay, maybe €2 you can buy this Kurzstrecke or something, right? But but it's nice. It's nice. You're happy. Yes, you can do something nice with. Maybe you can buy some half a sweet or 1/3 of a sweet for Krishna, or offer it to Krishna. So Prahlad Maharaj here says, Griha Vratanam, that those who have committed to Griha, Prabhupada says family duties, cannot get Krishna consciousness alone, with instructions, or together. Impossible. So a young brahmachari reading this will like to think, yes, these fallen grihastas. Serves them right. Takim inada. Serves them right. Wie sagt man das auf Deutsch? Serves them right. Ist ihnen gerecht. But it's not really about grihastas in Krishna consciousness, because we see that Prahlad Maharaj himself, just after a few days, he meets Narasimhadev, and Narasimhadev tells him, Prahlad, become a king and rule the universe as a grihasta for my pleasure. And he doesn't say no, he says, okay. He serves, yes. He serves. Dhruva Maharaj, he said, oh, maybe not, maybe can he change? Too late. But Prahlad Maharaj doesn't try to change. He says, oh, okay, all right, no problem. and because of that, we have Bali, his grandson. We have some Upanishads with his son Vairochana, some famous stories, important stories. Vairochana and Indra, some Upanishadic stories. So there is a difference between Griha, Medhi and Grihastha. And here Griha Vrata, sometimes Srila Prabhupada explains as somebody who has committed to stay in the material world. Nothing spiritual, never. Like you may remember this story, some rich businessman helped Srila Prabhupada organize a big program. I think in Bombay it was. And then they had big programs. I think they even had the balloon floating in the air. Yeah, Prabhupada brought Tamal Krishna Maharaj and somebody else in and said, come on, you're Americans, what's the use of you being Americans if you can't organize a good program? Okay, let's... So these material qualifications became very nice because they organized a huge program with tens of thousands of people, where actually quite a few devotees joined. Radhanath Maharaj was one of them who came through that program. I think it was this program, if I remember correctly. And so after that, Prabhupada told this businessman that may Krishna bless you to go, I think Radharani even said, may Radharani bless you to go back to Goloka Dham, to Goloka Vrindavan. If you got this blessing, would it be nice? I mean, not immediately, not right this second, even though I think even that would be pretty much okay. Fine. Yes, perfectly fine. I don't mind. But this businessman, you heard the story, you know? You know this? He said, "Oh no, 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 not this, please. I'm not this. I don't want this. Give me some other blessing. I don't want Goloka, Krishna consciousness. Just give me some, piety that I continue with my business." So even though nothing was required of him, keep going. Prabhupada didn't say, "Okay, shave up, put on saffron and live in a temple." No. He said, just after you die, may you be blessed. He said, no, 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 no. I think he still got all the blessings. It's not that Krishna consciousness is against being happy in this material world. It's not one of the regulative principles. Don't you dare be happy here. Hey, he's smiling. Give him some more work. Look, see, he's smiling. Give him. What is this? Don't you dare, nismete. Don't you dare smile. What is that? You're supposed to suffer. Dukhalayama shashvatam. It says, knowledge means this is suffering. Are you suffering enough? No, he's not suffering enough. No. We see that many blessings are there that when Krishna saw Sudama the florist, what did Sudama request as a blessing? Such a beautiful verse. He is requesting Sopiva vre chalam bhaktim, unwavering bhakti, fixed bhakti. Tasmin eva kilatmani, bhakti to Krishna, the super soul, the soul of the universe. Tad bhakteishu cha sauhridam, friendship to all devotees of that Lord. Bhuteshu cha dayamparam, and transcendental mercy to all the living entities. Mercy to everybody. So these are the three blessings he asked from Krishna directly in front of him. Krishna says, "What can I give to you? You gave me such a nice garden. Ask for anything." He said, yes, I know. 1, steady bhakti. 2, friendship with devotees. 3, mercy to all the living entities. Bas. That's all I want. This is it. It's very free. So you can see it's mostly like Madhyam Bhakta blessings, not asking for anything that we can't do here now already, right? But this is what Parikshit is asking, this is what Nalakuvara Manigriva are asking, very often, that's all they ask, nothing more. And what Krishna says, okay, Sudama, you will be happy, enjoying life with full strength of your senses till the end of this life, and then you will go to my spiritual world, Golokadam. I remember, first time I read, I thought, just look at this. Wow, you could do both? Oh, I didn't know. How is it? Both in full strength of sense. Oh, interesting, that's interesting. And then you go to Krishna. Really? It sounds like the best of both the worlds. It's like a good deal. Yeah, good deal. So quite frequently we have this blessing. And yes, this is actually the perfect case. In perfect case, this is what happens. It's not that everything has to be nasty and bad and broken, and then you think, it's impossible, okay, I should go some better place to Krishna Loka. No, it's not why it's not a negative program. It's not a negative program. It's not why we want to go. Same with the Grihastha ashram. Same with the Grihastha ashram. It's such a frequent misunderstanding that Grihastha ashram is to become frustrated. To become frustrated. Is it how it's put in word? To become frustrated. Yes, to become frustrated. And what is the result of such thoughts? Is that, when there is a challenge in the family, then I say, that's your fault. You fool, you don't understand. That's the purpose. You get frustrated. Are you frustrated yet? I'll make sure you get frustrated. Don't ask for anything. You get frustrated. That's the purpose. That we make, life here is not easy anyway, and we make it even more hell without any need. No need to. Prabhupada sometimes says there is no need to add tapasya and suffering. There is enough suffering already. Just be Krishna conscious. He said several times like this. And we, Hare Krishna. So there will always be suffering. So frustration will happen. Yes, this is the idea. But frustration not because it's bad, but even if it's perfect, ideal, wonderful, beautiful, everything is so nice, better than you can expect, and you will still feel, I don't have something is missing. Family is nice, kids are nice, everybody is nice, work is nice, everything is perfect, money is enough, everything is good. Something is not enough. What is not enough? Well, what is not enough is, basically, it seems that one of the strongest needs a living entity has is a need for a connection, to have some healthy connection, being properly connected. Yes, and ultimately we are all connected as part of Krishna's family. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Charo anachar, Krishnara samsara koro, Krishnara samsara. Accept Krishna's family. Accept Krishna. Let's become members of Krishna's family. So this is the point. We rejoin, come back to Krishna's family. That's the ultimate connection. Otherwise, every connection we may have here is not enough. It's good, but not. It's like for example, even if you have a very, very nice food, what shall we? Let's say nowadays we call it comfort food. Comfort food. Yeah, comfort food is, what's your comfort food?
My comfort food?
Everybody's. I think pizzas is everybody's comfort food, right? Ravindra Sarup Prabhu said that pizza is a self-realized chapati. And our new Gorodesh is amazing. It's so wonderful that even on Ekadashi, Krishna ate pizza here. 3 kinds of pizza, right? 3 kinds of pizza. Very nice. Ekadashi pizza, not something Ekadashi, full Ekadashi. Hare Krishna. Of course, nowadays so usually it's some white flour pizza with lots of fat and some white flour, whatever, with lots of butter, potato chips, some chips, right? Fried chips, something fried, oily. Yes, this is comfort food, right? Pakora, halwa. What's your comfort food? Srikhand. Of course, nowadays we have all been already educated, but if you just follow the diet, I think there was some years ago there was one documentary, Super Size Me or something. A guy was eating McDonald's burgers or something every day. Yeah, nothing else. And then after I think few months he was almost dead. He was so sick. That was, I think, 15, maybe more years ago. So now everybody is trying to be more healthy. So it's like eating only comfort food. If you eat comfort food, then you see, like several hundred years ago, the sailors usually in the sea, when they went for a long, long voyage, they would get sicker, sicker and sicker, and after some time their teeth fall out. They have enough food, they are not hungry, but they get sicker and sicker and teeth fall out. Until somebody, who was it? Some doctor find out, lemons help. He found that, I think some Italian ships who took big harvest of lemons, nobody got sick. Everybody was healthy. So scurvy, scurvy, it's called. I don't know what's the vitamin C deficiency. No vitamin C. So they, teeth fall out, the skin cracks, and so much trouble. So in the same way, we can be comforted, have comforts, all kinds of comforts, and not be healthy. So you need a balanced, nutritious, and even on every vitamin, on all the vitamins or proteins or anything you buy in a health food store, Bioladen, it says it does not replace a balanced diet. You don't think you take 3 pills of this, 2 pills of that, a little bit of this powder, that's it. And some fiber. Fiber is some, how do you call it? Fiber? To have. No, we need a balanced diet. So in the same way, whatever comforts in this world we have, unless we recover our spiritual health, we will not be satisfied, we will not be happy. And this means connection to Krishna, serving Krishna in proper bhakti. Proper bhakti means Madhyam bhakti. Prabhupada says in the 4th canto, these are the duties of an advanced devotee on the 2nd stage of advancement. Hare Krishna. Madhyam bhakti. Madhyam bhakti. So Madhyam bhakti means you do the activities plus you make friends with devotees. You have respect, you have mercy. This is a big challenge, being friendly with the devotees. Then everything is very healthy, and then in every position one will advance very nicely. So these grihastas mentioned here, or grihavratas, these are not devotees, because devotees want Krishna. Devotees like Krishna. They are not. They have not taken a vow, grihavrata, to always be in the material world, like people Prahlad Maharaj is speaking about. So, in one lecture many years ago, Niranjan Maharaj said that it's better to, what is better, to be outside of the temple and yearn to be in the temple, yearn to strive, to want to be somewhere else, doing something else, or to be outside of the temple, doing some work, and yearn to be in the temple. Who is more Krishna conscious? Of course, I mean, nobody says you shouldn't be in the temple and yearn to be in the temple, or near the temple. I think we have here a nice small Hare Krishna quarter, yes, or village. We have devotees living nearby. This is the best. So the idea is, what are our goals? What is our vrata? What is our vow? And what are our desires? So the vehicle of our life are desires. So the engine of our life is desires. So also Krishna consciousness is development of desires, cultivation of desires. Not rolling the fingers, moving the body. That is the instrument. This helps us to improve, increase, and enhance our desires for Krishna. So this is what we cultivate, desires. And this is what Srila Prabhupada has brought us. Before Srila Prabhupada, we didn't even know that, you can desire Krishna. We didn't even know about Krishna. We didn't know about the spiritual world. Even a few of us who knew about moksha, nirvana, nothing is said about what's on the other side. Free. It's only the program minus, the minus program. Give up, give up, give up. Yeah? Minus program. Nothing positive. But Srila Prabhupada finally is bringing the plus program. Yeah? The program plus Krishna. That here is something positive you want. You can desire, you can move to. Positive Krishna consciousness. So this is so powerful. Like a few days ago we heard Srila Prabhupada's description of the water. Okay, let me remember Hare Krishna. Okay. Krishna. He says, even one time you remember Krishna as you drink, once or twice, finished. All sins purified. By remembering Krishna. By remembering Krishna, all sins removed. And we know at least two cases when he recommended even somebody is a drunkard, drinks wine. If they meditate, this taste I like is Krishna, they will advance. And I heard at least of 2 cases that actually such drunkards became devotees. They gave up wine, they stopped being drunkards, they became devotees. By drinking and thinking this is Krishna. This taste I like, this is Krishna. Following Prabhupada's plus program. So you can see, not the minus program, but the plus program. So the minus always just is to help the plus. But actually, Prabhupada's program is the plus program. So, then, if you have the proper plus program aiming at Krishna, then you can go through almost any situation and come out on top, as they say, come out victorious, come out with a positive balance, come out with the best result. Like Srila Prabhupada, he went through so many hardships. He had to change his plan. Like sometimes we are not happy. Oh, this 2020 was horrible. 2021, not that much better. And I couldn't follow my plans. I had this plan, that plan, nothing I could follow in my plan. But Prabhupada couldn't follow his plans not just for 1 year, he couldn't follow his plans for 20, 30 years. First, what was his first plan?
Money.
Yeah, earn big money. Because the astrologers told him, you will be super rich. Okay, so he's doing the work. He's not just sitting, he's working. And not postponing, he's working, and then he opens the Prayag temple, maintains the Bombay temple, prints the Back to Godhead magazine. He's doing so many things. And then what happens? For decades he's doing this. Oh, Hare Krishna, welcome. Hare Krishna. So for decades he's doing this, and is he frustrated? I mean, is he successful? The wife changes his Srimad Bhagavatam. He's translating. She changes for some biscuits or something not even valuable and not so nice. And one son, I think, is born strange, and he walks out and disappears. Nobody ever sees him again. Yeah? And so this trouble. His one business is robbed. The other business also they steal something. So it's not an easy ride. Everything frustrated. Yeah? So then another thing. Then Srila Prabhupada goes to Vrindavan, tries to preach to pious Indians, cultured Indians, and he says, "Give me one son." They don't want to help in that way. Then he meets the Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri. We have the picture. He gives him his Bhagavatam. And Lal Bahadur Shastri was a very pious gentleman, very favorable to the Prime Minister, very, very favorable to devotees. Recently they told me that he was poisoned in Tashkent. He visited Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and because he had some plans that didn't match, he was poisoned. You know this?
Yeah, he was poisoned basically during the period, it's a war time. When Pakistan attacked India, he told to the Indian army that by the time tomorrow morning, I want to see the Indian army in Islamabad.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so you can see, also when you read the first canto, sometimes you can see that it's like Srila Prabhupada is writing this for the presidents, ministers, for the government. He gives some suggestions, right? So he had some idea that maybe, because India had just declared independence and they wanted to make Sanskrit the official language, and there was a good chance maybe they could implement. Nobody knows how to, construct a happy society actually, still. But this also failed. So many plans, they were frustrated. But did Prabhupada come out victorious? Did Prabhupada give up? Did Srila Prabhupada continue happily in Krishna consciousness? And then finally, here we are. So all around the world, almost every city in the world, you can get the books almost in every language. You can have some nice association, nice people to discuss very elevated philosophy and practice, to sing Hare Krishna together, yes, to sing the mantras together. And you have beautiful, beautiful temples in so many places. So Srila Prabhupada has brought infinite treasures to give everybody, to give all the people, to benefit us through the plus program, not the minus program, through the plus program, to please Krishna, to do something positive for Krishna. And then everybody is getting benefit with this plus program, even if there are some difficulties, even if for some time we have to go through tough periods, even if some devotees gave up the proper practice, still you can see that some time is passing. They do not forget Krishna, they continue, and sometimes they return with huge assets. This was the question they asked me last year in Dnipro, Ukraine. One devotee, she's a professional reporter and journalist, and her question was, she said, can I ask this question? Can I do this into an interview or something? She asked, where are the devotees from the 80s and the 90s? Why so few? Why the temple is not filled with those devotees from the 80s and the 90s? Actually, I must say that on that day, when she asked this, on that Sunday program, we had maybe, it was still lockdown, so we had maybe 50 or 60 people. And there was maybe 5 or 10 older devotees from the 90s and 80s. Actually, it's not so bad, it's normal. I mean, in terms of proportion, it was not so bad. But still, that was the question. So I pointed out that they are still here. Look, him, her, and him, they are there. But also I said that I was asking the same question to Niranjana Maharaj in 1990 something in Moldova. I forgot which city. I remember we were waiting in the car for something in Moldova, and then I was traveling with Niranjan Swami, and I asked that Srila Prabhupada had 5,000 initiated disciples. And after he went away, only 500 continued. These were the numbers from about 91 that I had. So I said, how come? And what will happen? Why so few? Only like 10% after Prabhupada departed. So I remember what Niranjana Maharaj said. He said, just wait. Don't worry, just wait. Just wait some years, and after 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you will have many of them coming back with a lot of experience, with very good experience. And this was after that we had, I will not name names on the record, but so many devotees came back who one would think are totally lost forever, who went away with a scandal, who left with this. So they came back and they brought, somebody came as a super powerful lawyer bringing huge money and expertise. Another brought also tens of millions of dollars and organizing talents, because he was not just a successful businessman, he made other businesses successful. So he came back and he's been helping to organize very good programs in our society for devotees. So this is indeed what I have seen some time later, that so many of those who had seemed away, they came back. Not only they came back, they this plus program of Plus Krishna, Taste for Krishna, was alive, and they came back and they brought not only their interest, but they brought so much, not even money. Money is good. I'm not saying it's not good, but even more, organization, intelligence, experience, some friendship, mood of friendship, so many important other we can say competences. Nowadays they say competences, right? Skills and competences, which is even more valuable. So that's Srila Prabhupada's program. This is Srila Prabhupada's program, and everything else is around it. If you have this plus program, again, I'll remember our poor German philosopher, the founder of the first voice of our sad postmodernism, Friedrich Nietzsche, who said, wer einen Warum hat, if you have a why, you will always find a how. Yes. Weiß jemand, wie es klingt im Original? Wenn einen Warum hat, wir immer einen Wie finden, sowas. Basically, if you have the plus program, if you have a positive goal, you will find a way. You will find a way. So the positive program is the achyuta, infallible, indestructible, what else? Sometimes unmanifest, but eternal Krishna, who is already present in the heart, already present. If you are conscious, that's Krishna. Если вы в сознании, то это Krishna. If you are unconscious, this is also Krishna. Если вы без сознания, тоже Krishna. Bewusstsein und Ohnmacht, everything is Krishna. You just have to recognize him and cultivate our relationship with Krishna. Then we can be able to move forward and approach Krishna further and further. And so this is Damodar Mas. We are singing every day Kuver Atmajo Badha Murtyai Vayadvat Tvayamo Chito Bhakti Bhaja Krito Cham Tatha Prema Bhaktim Swakame Prayacha Na Mokshe Grahome Sti Damodareha. So Damodar, oh Damodar, I don't need even liberation. So what you gave to these two demigods, Nalakuvaram and Igriva, your divine love, loving service, bhakti, please give this to me. And Nalakuvaram and Igriva, so you can see they went through a tough period. They were cursed. They became trees. Nobody wants this, right? But the blessing was not lost. And then, by the blessings of Narada, Krishna made them free, even though he was not free. He was bound to a mortar. He made them free. They came out with the shining forms, offering prayers. So then the cowherd men, Nanda Maharaj, came and they asked the cowherd boys, so what happened? And they said, well, little Krishna, he was dragging the mortar, and then the mortar got stuck between these two huge trees, and he pulled, and the two trees fell down, and then out of the two trees came wonderful, two shining persons. So the cowherd man said, yeah, these children, what do they see, what they invent is, maybe the wind blew and the trees fell or something, but maybe. And shining person, yeah, sure. And the Nalakuvaram and Igriva, they offered beautiful. What did they ask? They came out. What did they ask? They said, Vani gunanu kathane shavana kathayam hastau chakarma sutava padayornam smrita shiras tavanivasa jagat praname satam drishti satam darshane stubhavat tanunam. They could ask everything, but they ask. Mögen von nun an alle unsere Worte deine Spiele schildern. So our words, may they always speak about you. Our ears hear about you. Our hands serve you. Our memory, remember your lotus feet. Our body, our head, bow down to all the living entities who are carrying you in the heart. Because all the living entities carry you in the heart, so may our head always bow down to everybody as your vehicle. Und mögen unsere Augen die Gestalt von Vaishnava sehen, die von dir nicht verschieden sind. Drishir Satam Darshana. May our vision have darshan of your devotees. Satam, of saintly people. And then, so you can see, they got through this time of being in the Arjuna trees, and then Krishna made them free, and we have Gopal Champu, where they always associate with Krishna, and they sing in Vrindavan, in Krishna's village. They sing for Nanda Maharaj. And when some evenings they tell all Krishna's leelas to the best devotees. So their desire is fully fulfilled by this positive program, not give up, but for Krishna, everything. The eyes, the hands, the ears, the memory. So that's the program, Srila Prabhupada's program. Prabhupada says there is yoga means plus. It's very interesting, because in Hindi yoga means sum, plus. It's plus. So he says yoga means plus Krishna. Mayavadis are trying to do minus, but no, yoga means plus Krishna. Then the minus is natural. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Plus Krishna ki jai. Any thoughts? Any comments? Any questions? Irina?
Did I understand it right when you said that if you're conscious, there is Krishna. If you're not conscious, there is Krishna. But our task is to recognize Krishna.
Yes.
He's everywhere, but what is about us?
Yes.
We have to recognize that he's everywhere.
Yes, correct.
This is Krishna consciousness.
Yes. He says this in Canto 11, that I pervade consciousness, dream, and unconsciousness. And having transcendental spiritual consciousness means that you are aware of this. You understand that this is Krishna and that is Krishna, so you remember. Remembering Krishna everywhere. Seeing Krishna everywhere. Okay? Did you have a question? No, not really.
Recently, I heard Prabhupada's lecture. He said Indians is often pious, but they have one problem. They're very attached to family relationship. In this case, Western, for them, for Western, easy to accept Krishna consciousness because Western is not very attached to family relationship.
Yes, Prabhupada said like this. I think in the last 50, I can see, in the last 50 years the situation has drastically changed, and you can see that in India millions of people come to our temples. Millions, literally millions. Actually, millions was already 20 years ago, like for Janmashtami, Bombay, in 1996 there were 2 million people for Janmashtami in Juhu. Now it's tens of millions, not millions, tens of millions are coming. And you can see that I have high hopes that India will be able to show how to be a good, responsible grihasta and fully Krishna conscious. Because, yes, a devotee is a superman, superwoman, superhuman. Material success and spiritual success side by side. Which is enough to attract everybody. Yes, like Yudhishthir, he conducted the Rajasuya emperor sacrifice to propagate Krishna consciousness, to establish Krishna consciousness. So it seems that interest in Krishna consciousness is increasing, also in India, and it's not pro-family or anti-family. It's the question of Krishna consciousness. For 99.9% of the people, family life is the only proper way to live, to be responsible, balanced, and move on, to mature further. So if you add Krishna consciousness, if you do this in Krishna consciousness, then that's the problem of India then, the modern life now, that we become too busy about everything, and we don't add the spiritual dimension of Krishna consciousness. You know that. So therefore, whether people work, so we work, like such long hours, 3 jobs sometimes, and so that no time, I don't know, I mean, it's like killing ourselves, or not working, not being responsible. So whatever we do, we do this not in Krishna consciousness, without Krishna consciousness. But if we live a balanced life, Germany comparatively is glorified as probably the most balanced place in terms of the working hours, because the rest of the world, they have 100-hour weeks, work week, 100 hours. The rest of, Japan used to be number 1. Now America has overtaken, so people have 110 hours, work hours per week. So that means like 2-3 jobs, or very, very long hours. So very imbalanced, totally imbalanced. Whereas Germany has been always glorious that, okay, this is for work. Yeah, it's illegal to have a shop open on after 8 or something, or on Sunday, right? Unlike almost all the other places around the world. So I think Germany has some appreciation of proper balance. So we need to balance everything so that we make the human life successful by developing Krishna consciousness, taking care of the material side, but developing also Krishna consciousness. Okay, yes, madam.
Prabhuji, if somebody is in the hospital on the day of Ekadasi, he is not eating, but he is taking saline water in his body.
Saline, yeah.
Is there does Krishna give some
benefit
for him?
We have plenty of examples. Like Prahlad Maharaj is described in the Skanda Purana. Jiva Goswami quotes in Bhakti Sandarbha. He describes that Prahlad in the previous life had a date with his girlfriend, and then he had a falling out. He had a fight, and he became so disturbed that he didn't sleep and didn't eat. He couldn't sleep and couldn't eat, and this happened to be Nrisimha Chaturdashi. So Nrisimha said, okay, let's count. Okay, fasted fasted on Nrisimha Chaturdashi, and then he gave him all the facilities in the next life. So Krishna is looking for every excuse to give blessings, but also it's better if they are conscious. It's always better if it's conscious. Hare Krishna.
Это авторитетный вариант о том, что Прохлада Махарадж тоже с девушкой легкого поведения, искал место, их заброшенный в храме Нарисимхи,
и подмел там.
Она попросила, хотела чуть-чуть
Да. Hare Krishna, Devaki Mataji.
Hare Krishna, alles Gute.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Shri Dayal Nitai Vijay Govinda Vijay Gauranga ki jai.